everybody, I've just witnessed Anne Marie Waters' latest video, Stand in the Park in Darlington. She spoke very well in that video. She was saying nothing's going to change, you need to stand for election, you need to stand to become your MP. She didn't mention, however, shortly after the Batley by-election, she did an interview in which she said that for Britain's policy in the up-and-coming future elections is not to stand in future parliamentary by-elections and not to stand in general elections. They are only going to be focusing on local elections. So, as fantastic as her speech was, it's if you want to stand to become your MP, stand as an independent candidate or join the British Freedom Party, who will be standing in future by-elections and general elections. A few weeks ago, Anne Marie Waters did an open letter to Nigel Farage. She was literally begging him to go, to allow her to go on the GB News channel. She was mentioning the open letter written by Ed, the chairman of For Britain. I used to be a For Britain member, so I know this all too well. Their issue was that Nigel Farage branded Anne Marie Waters far right when she was going for the UKIP leadership election. She said the party has been stained by that statement ever since. And in the open letter written by the chairman, they mentioned that this has given people an incorrect evaluation of the party, and they have had people from the far right join the party, or what they deem to be far right people, and they have had to eradicate these people from the party. And yes, they have done that to many people, but the people they've done it to aren't considered far right. They are just considered to be people with a brain, people with some gumption, people who go out actively promoting the party. Anne Marie Waters sees these people as a threat, and I can tell you that in a private Zoom meeting with Anne Marie Waters, she told me there will not be a leadership election in the For Britain Party in 2023. There will never be a leadership election. This is her party, and she will always be the leader. Spoken like a true dictator. She wrote the party constitution, and the For Britain Party constitution says there should be a leadership election every 5 years. So that means there should be a leadership election in 2023. This woman's good on the public stage, good at speaking, she's good at conning people, like the video she's put out today in Darlington. She said she didn't actually mention for them to join For Britain, but she was putting out that people need to stand for the, she mentioned she's the leader of For Britain, blah, blah, blah. And there'll be many people in that crowd who's probably thinking, oh, I should join For Britain. But if you want to stand in election and become your constituency's MP, if you want to stand in parliamentary by-elections, if you want to stand in general elections, Anne Marie Waters said shortly after the parliamentary by-election in Batley that For Britain have a plan not to stand in future parliamentary by-elections, not to stand in general elections. They are only focusing on local elections. And let me remind you that in the local elections in May, from what I could see, they all came last, next to last. Not many got over 100 votes, which is really piss poor, to be honest, because I left the party shortly before these local elections. I stood as an independent and I got 331 votes. I came third in the in my ward's local elections. I came third out of 6 candidates. It was a last-minute decision because I had intentions to stand as a For Britain candidate. I probably wouldn't have come third if I stood as a For Britain candidate, because Anne Marie Waters herself finished 6 out of 8 candidates, and she stood in the same ward as an elected Forbidden councillor. The way Hartlepool do their elections, the format they choose is they do elections where every single candidate is up for election. And if you finish in the top 3, you are elected as a Forbidden, as a councillor. So the elected Forbidden councillor came 4th. She only missed out on coming 3rd by about 13 votes. Anne Marie Waters, the leader of Forbidden, stood in the same ward as her. She finished 6th, splitting the vote, meaning that she didn't get elected. So, if you want to stand in parliamentary by-elections, stay well clear of Anne Marie Waters. It is controlled opposition. The party is from top to bottom. It's a complete farce. It's amateur the way that party is run, and I can compare that to my previous party. I used to be a member of UKIP before UKIP self-imploded, and the lefties who infiltrated the party took all the top positions, and they are intentionally destroying that party. Stand as an independent candidate or join the British Freedom Party. They are the only one who aren't controlled opposition. And yes, I think Anne Marie Waters' open letter to Nigel Farage begging for forgiveness has been ignored. I mean, who sends a letter crying about something that happened several years ago? She was crying about how they're branded as far right because she is far left. She's openly said she was on the Labour Party. She wasn't just in the Labour Party. She was on the communist wing of the Labour Party. She used to break bread with the likes of Diane Abbott. She hasn't transitioned in this short period of time to a right-wing nationalist or even a moderate right-wing nationalist. The only person who cares about being branded far right is someone on the far left. Let's face it, the far left brand Boris Johnson and the Conservatives as far right, and we all know that Boris Johnson and the Conservatives are not far right. They are left wing. They are not even conservative. They are behaving like socialists. I don't refer to them as the Conservative Party because they have never seen conservatism since Margaret Thatcher was their leader. They are liberals, socialists, and they are definitely not the far right.